So for this stage of your project, side piece here, I'm going to show you how to mark out the plywood piece. What you need is, you need 3 pieces in total. You need one 6mm piece and 2 4mm pieces. It would be no harm when you get your piece to right, perhaps do not do this, just nice and discreet so that you know the difference between the two. 4mm up in one of the corners, just so that you know when you're marking it out that these are your pieces. So I've got a worksheet here, so we're going to follow these steps. Step 1, equipment that we need is a steel ruler and a pencil. So we're going to join the corners here so it looks something like this. Step 2, what I'm going to do is I'm going to need the center line for my piece. So this in theory should be the center of my piece if you've marked it out accurately. So I'm going to use my tri-square. So this is my blade, my stock. So I'm going to use my tri-square here, line that up there, and draw my line across. So you need to make sure that you mark it out on all your pieces. So I'm going to repeat step 1 and 2 on both my 4mm pieces. So I'm left with these pieces marked out. Now I'm going to move on to step 3. I'm going to leave my 4mm pieces to the side. So mark out the 6mm and the 4mm pieces. So I want to measure up 15mm from the top of the curve and draw a line across it using the tri-square. So from the center line up here, so from this point here, I'm going to measure up 15mm and I'm going to draw a line across. So I'm just going to do this sideways to make it easier. So mark off 15mm. Put my point there. I'm going to use my tri-square to draw my line across. Make sure that your piece is pressed in. Don't have it like this. Make sure that it's pushed in against your stock. Draw my line across. And also on step 3, I need to measure down 20mm from the top. So I'm going to measure down 20mm on this center line. That's 2 centimeters, 20mm. Now you have to use your tri-square for these lines because we need them to be at right angles. If you just use your ruler, you could potentially have the lines at the wrong angles. Okay, we need this piece to be accurate. So repeat that step onto the 4mm pieces also. So I need 15mm from the bottom and 20 down from the top. And repeat it on my last piece as well. What I could do is, if I know that these pieces are right, I could simply put a dot there, put a dot there. Once I know that these pieces are right, it is always, before I do that, I'm just going to double check. That's 20mm and that's 15mm. So I can just line up these dots here. Across. Oh, 3 pieces are marked out. Now what I want to do is I'm going to drill a hole here into this section here, into all 3. So I'm going to need to use the pillar drill and the G-clamp to hold my work down. So before I go over to the drill, what I'm going to do is I'm just going to put a kind of a crosshair here where I want to drill, so that I don't get confused. I do not want to drill down here. I want to drill on this piece here and this piece. So what you can do is do a crosshair here, or you could simply just put a circle around this piece here so that you know this is the piece that you want to drill. So once you've marked out all your pieces, you will have 4 4mm pieces and 2 6mm pieces. What you're going to need next is you're going to need some double-sided tape, which looks like this. And what you're going to do is you're going to take 2 4mm pieces and 1 6. And they're going to go there. These are going to go here. So now what we want to do is just cover a small bit of double-sided tape on our middle piece, or we can just put it on the back. So we just want to glue all these pieces together. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to put it on the back of the middle piece here. Now make sure that you don't cut off too much. You only need a small bit to sit in the middle. Now you're going to have to take off this double-sided tape later on, so it will be no harm. Just to kind of weigh up, you only need roughly about half. So just going to cut off a small bit here. Now, as you can see, it can get caught on the scissors, so you need to be careful when you do this. Place this here. I'm going to peel off this side here. Now I'm then going to attach this onto this one. Now, I would have all my measurements facing upwards, just so that you can see them. Okay, just make sure that all your pieces are in line. So you might need to just push a bit there. Make sure that the edges are all in line like this. Now repeat that process for these 3 pieces also. So what we're doing next is we're creating the shape for the side piece on our headphones. So what we need to do is come up with the shape. So as you can see here, we've got different templates that you can use. You can also come up with your own one. So for example, if I wanted to make mine this shape here, I can simply put this here and trace this on. Alternatively, if I wanted a different shape, let's say if I wanted this one, all you gotta do is just line up my center line with the center line of this here, just so that it's nice and central, and then I can curve these edges here and trace it on. So ideally you would have both the same, but there are the different options that you can have.